wasn't until I really got into looking at the vitalist traditions, whether that be, Greek Galenic medicine or Unani Tib or Ayurveda or Chinese medicine or different approaches in North American herbalism, and really seeing that, yes, we all have a liver, yes, we all have lungs and a heart, and like we all have the same anatomical parts of our body for the most part, right? Of course, there's variances in some, but really going into the specifics of this and looking at it not through the lens of just science but looking at it that we all have, yes, we all have hearts and lungs and livers and kidneys, but that on top of that, we also have, like, some people have really strong lungs. Some people have weaker lungs. Some people have really healthy, vital livers. Other people are a little more prone to having problems in their liver. And so what I like to think of here with this first point is that vitalism gives you a unique understanding of your body, right? Not just the human body on like a general level, but your unique body. And we typically refer to this as your constitution, right? And looking at everyone is put together in their own unique way. And in that unique way that we are assembled and created, that there comes along with that certain strengths and weaknesses. So some of us have, like I said, certain really strong livers and maybe weaker kidneys, or some people, like, what's your weak spot? We all have a weak spot physiologically where we tend to get sick. Well, why is it that some people, if we were all put together exactly the same, well, why is it that some people, when they have issues, health issues, it affects their digestion, whereas other people, it's their nervous system, whereas other people, it's their lungs, or other people, it's their immune system? This is really what the Constitution does for our understanding of our bodies, is gives us insight into what our predispositions for both health and disease are. And what that has allowed me to do personally is really see these are the parts of the body that are a little bit weaker. And that translates into, well, here's things that I can do about it in order to strengthen those parts of the body. Here's lifestyle things that I can do to, prevent those things from happening. And just making those fine-tune adjustments to ultimately prevent yourself, or myself in this case, I guess, or all of us, from getting sick. And I think that's one of the powers of herbal medicine and holistic approaches to healing, is that we don't have to just use herbs when we're sick. Of course, there's certain herbs that you really only use when you're sick, but there's other types of remedies that you can do and work with that you can use to just maintain constitutional balance. You can strengthen your weak organ systems. You can maybe temper down those excesses so that you can come into a better place of balance. And so that was one of the big things for me with vitalism, and how it really transformed my life, is just understanding my body. And I think this is a really useful thing for all of us to understand. I mean, we don't, for some reason, when we come into this world, we don't get, there's no manual. There's no manual of the human body. And to me, I think it's almost like, I feel like constitutional understandings, this should be almost like part of our education of hey, here's how to know why your body and your temperament, right? Because this all translates to, emotional and psychological dynamics. So why do some people tend to be more stubborn emotionally, and other people tend to be more angry, and another third type of person tends to be more anxious? Oh, this is all part of those constitutional and temperamental predispositions. And knowledge of that is so powerful for you, just for yourself, but also certainly if you're wanting to be working with clients. Lends a lot of insight into the people you're working with, what remedies to give them, what remedies not to give them, what to watch out for, and ultimately empowers you to serve your community better.